we are talking my DVD steelbook collection, and I'm going to run through this in kind of somewhat of a genre fashion. So I'm going to say quickly, I did say that there's going to be a collector's tip update video at some point, and I am going to give you a little preview because I feel that DVDs are a format that people turn their nose up at these days. But think about formats and products that have kind of gone out of fashion and then come back again, somewhat of a collector's fashion. Think Star Wars figures, comics, stuff like that. So don't be too quick to get rid of your DVDs, because I suspect that they will, especially the kind of the rarer ones, will come back to be somewhat collectible. Anyway, let's crack on. So I'm going to go through my metal casing, let's call it that, steelbook collection. So it's going to include metal packs, feature packs, all stuff like this. DVD steelbooks, they weren't as many as they are in Blu-ray nowadays, but let's show you what I've got. So this first one is the Return of the Living Dead Part 3. This is a German kind of metal pack. It has obviously this lenticular magnet on here with the beautiful Mindy Clark as Julie. This one's technically speaking a metal pack. And yeah, one of my favourite kind of zombie films, to be honest. And I do like this one. I would like a Blu-ray steelbook with this design, to be honest. Staying with the Return of the Living Dead, this is Part 5, Raid to the Grave, and the second two movies came out a lot later than the original three, but they were very poor in comparison, to be quite honest with you. From Spain, we have these quite little fun metal packs, and these have kind of a feature where you have like a clear liquid or other things, as we'll see in a minute, inside that you can kind of push around. Obviously this one meant to be kind of blood. So Dead Silence, actually a film I've yet to see. Hatchet, one of the kind of the most favourite kind of slasher movies from the sort of more modern era, and this is the first film in a European release. This is one of these Spanish steelbook with a weird kind of feature on it. This one's got sand for some reason. I'm not sure this one works quite as well, because it pretty much covers the the actual picture. There you go. So another one of these Spanish metal packs. This one, the Fog, and this one has a green slime in it that you can kind of push around again. It has like a moulded skull kind of motif that you've got. I don't know how well that will show up, but yeah. This was my favourite out of these kind of like these Spanish metal packs that I've got. The Relic, and this one again has the kind of like the liquid moving around. This one's got the kind of the moulding of the screaming mouth, which was on the actual cover here. Dog Soldiers. The US got a steelbook. We still even haven't had a Blu-ray release officially in the UK yet of this movie. Ridiculous. It's a British film. You can't bloody get it. But yeah, this is the only steelbook you can get currently. Maybe they'll do a Blu-ray one at some point. But yeah, the Dog Soldiers DVD steelbook from the States. This one's a fun one. Saw 3 actually comes with a card outer sleeve. And this one's also one of these blood packs, but inside you actually get plastic teeth as well, like teeth that have been pulled out, which is quite fun. Kind of moving more into kind of a sci-fi territory now. Aliens versus Zombies. The Dark Lurking. It's also known as just The Dark Lurking. Obviously, Aliens kind of rip off, especially with this cover, but it's you know, it's okay for a kind of a B movie. Lots of gooey special effects. German release, I think this is. and you can kind of see how similar that cover is, obviously with the actual Aliens still, but this was the UK definitive edition line that they did. Highlander, this one's fairly common, to be honest. Rest in peace, Sean Connery. Just died a couple of days after I've, you know, before I recorded this. Predator 2, once again, one of the definitive editions. Cloverfield, this is, you can get kind of the same sort of steelbook as a Blu-ray steelbook, actually, this one. Has a nice kind of weird matte finish, which is kind of odd to the touch, to be honest. Aragon was meant to be the start of a young adult franchise, but didn't really take off. As it stands, it's an okay sort of fantasy film. Sound of Thunder, this is one of my more recent pickups. A bit of a wasted portrayal of this movie from somewhat of a, you know, well-known story, with some truly bad special effects that have not aged well. Hancock, one of the few DVD steelbooks with a J card. Like the first half of this movie. The Hellboy collection. This was the first two films, the Ron Perlman ones. Fairly sort of common, to be honest. Superman, the original movie. Spanish steelbook, this one. The Real Ghostbusters, this is a Region 1 DVD steelbook. Can't watch Region 1 DVDs, I can watch Region A Blu-rays, not DVDs, but I just thought it's just a fun thing to have in the collection, because I did used to enjoy this cartoon show. And then the other kind of cartoon one I got is the Voltron Collection 1. I think you can get 5 different collections, this is just the first one here. Die Hard 4. I actually quite like this film. I know the kind of the latter Die Hard films people don't really like. I actually quite like number 4. Miami Vice is a Region 1 Region 1. This is obviously the movie version that stars Colin Farrell and Jamie Foxx. I was a big fan of the original TV show. Didn't mind the movie. But, there you go. Sin City, one of the most common steelbooks I think you'll find here in the UK. This is the recut version. It kind of goes in order. There Will Be Blood. Probably one of the few kind of non-schlocky films I have on DVD. DVD steelbook at least. Jewel, obviously the film that created Steven Spielberg. They've just released a Blu-ray steelbook of this, but I didn't like the design, so I didn't bother getting it. '84 Charlie Emo Pick, which is a Vietnam found footage movie. This was made before found footage was really a thing, and really gets forgotten about in the kind of the conversation when we're talking about found footage movie. Only the movie Cannibal Holocaust precedes this as the kind of the first found footage movie. This is really the second found footage movie that was ever made. Death Proof. This is a metal pack. Not one of Tarantino's best, it could arguably be said. Tekken, this is the first movie, and this one comes with a bunch of postcards. You can actually get the same design on a steelbook for Blu-ray, which I actually have as well. I didn't mind this movie, and it actually has Gary Daniels in it, who's one of my kind of favourite kind of martial art action heroes. Moving on to some Marvel stuff. Blade Trinity, obviously the third film, and again, I don't mind this film as much as other people. Other people don't like it. It's not as good as the first two, I'll give you that, but I still didn't mind it. Blade House of Chthon, which is the kind of feature-length starting episode from the short-lived TV show of Blade that starred Sticky Fingers as a Blade. Just kind of forgotten about when you're talking about Marvel TV these days, I feel. Blade Trilogy. This is a kind of a metal pack, I think from France. And this one I was after for years and could never find it. And I managed to finally pick one up. So I was pretty pleased to have that. Maybe it's from... might be Dutch, actually, looking at that age justification. But anyway, it was hard to find. Daredevil, part of the definitive edition from the UK. Probably fairly easy to pick up, this one. Fantastic Four and Fantastic Four Rise of the Silver Surfer. This is a Spanish metal pack. A second Spanish metal pack with both Fantastic Four films. Or both original Fantastic Four films. Then you have the Fantastic of the Silver Surfer. I'm not quite sure which country this is from. There's actually a similar looking steelbook which doesn't have a logo on, which is probably one of the few Marvel steelbooks that I don't have on DVD. And then of course you got the other UK steelbook. This is one of the few Marvel films that haven't had a solus Blu-ray steelbook release. Moving on to Ghost Rider. This is the Australian steelbook. This is the, I think, French steelbook from Ghost Rider, the first film. This is the Spanish version, very similar, but a couple of small differences. Actually, this is the French steelbook, the other one must have been German. Yeah, this is the French steelbook of Ghost Rider. This is definitely the French one. Then we have the German version of Ghost Rider Spirits of Vengeance. And we also have a more recently released metal pack, which I quite like the cover of that one, I must admit. Again, I think that's Dutch or Danish or something. Man-Thing. This is actually one of my prized possessions in my collection because I used to love the Man-Thing comics when I used to read comics back when I was a kid. And this is definitely one of the more forgotten about Marvel films, and it was never released on Blu-ray. And you could get this Dutch steelbook, which is a 2-disc one. It's got like special features which none of the other DVDs have, and it's fairly rare, to be honest. It does come up here and there, and people don't seem to realise that it's actually somewhat of a rare item. So you can pick it up cheap now and then, but it doesn't come up very often. Punisher, the Dolph Lundgren 1989 version. This is the German metal pack with a lenticular, well, it's stuck on there, it's not really a magnet. I've just realised I've gone out of order now, gone out of alphabetical order, god damn it, never mind. Right, the Punisher, the more recent Thomas Jane version. This is the Spanish one. No, is it? Oh, maybe German actually. Oh, anyway. This is a European Dutch maybe. The Thomas Jane Punisher. And this is the Spanish version, which I think is a metal pack here. Okay, let's try and get this back in some alphabetical order. The Incredible Hulk. This is a Future Shop version from Canada. I think this is another country, Germany maybe. There you go. I've lost it. This is the UK version of the Incredible Hulk. And the Spanish version of the Incredible Hulk. Iron Man, Spanish steelbook. There's a lot of these designs look very similar for Iron Man, I will say. So this is a German steelbook. Actually, one of my favourite designs ever for a steelbook. I absolutely, it's got the superhero pose on it, I suppose, the superhero landing. But yeah, I really like the design here because it just features Iron Man rather than Robert Downey Jr. So you're focusing on the character, I feel, rather than the star of this one. And I just think it looks really cool, the kind of the mist in the background and all of that. And then you have kind of variations of the just this face one. This one is a French version. And then we have the UK one, which has the similar design that you've seen in the Future Shop Blu-ray steelbook. Then you have this one from the Netherlands, and this is a metal pack, and it's got some quite heavy embossing on it. Then we have Iron Man 2. A German version of Iron Man 2. Then you have Iron Man 3, so a German one, and I think this is the last DVD steelbook that was ever made from anything. I don't remember there ever being a DVD steelbook that came out of a later film. So in that it's kind of, I mean, I could be wrong about that, but it just seems, it's certainly out of the Marvel films, but I think it's the last one overall. Right, Spider-Man. This is a Spanish metal pack. This one was difficult to get hold of, and I had another version of it, but it was rusting. So I managed to pick up a second version, and actually I still have the other one, but obviously this is in the collection, the other one's just in the pile. Spider-Man 2.1, remember when they used to do that? So a few extra scenes in this sequel to the Sam Raimi trilogy. Spider-Man 3, this is the French version, and This has the most amount of steelbooks in regards to the Spider-Man movies on DVD. There's the Spanish version. And the German version. The original X-Men on the definitive edition range from the UK. X-Men 1.5, this is an American, obviously as you can see, Best Buy exclusive. This one's pretty hard to get hold of now. Original film again, not quite sure which country this is from, to be honest. European country of some description. X-Men 2, X2, X-Men United, whatever you want to call this one, the second film. That's the definitive edition from the UK again. I've got to be honest with you, kind of boring. I'm not gonna lie, the UK version, not very good. And this is the American version. The X-Men Last Stand, which is the third X-Men film. The French version, mine's a bit battered, I will admit on that one. The German version. And my final DVD steelbook is a Turkish, of all places, version of X-Men Origins Wolverine. And that concludes my DVD steelbooks, at least for now. Maybe I'll pick up a few more if I see them, but there's not that many that are available. But I'll be curious to know what your thoughts are on my collection. Obviously, it's quite Marvel heavy. So if you're not a Marvel fan, I apologise. Anyway, thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll look forward to seeing you next time. Bye for now.